What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. So if you guys were looking forward to the Arcs of Omen Farsight lore, that will be coming back tomorrow. I'm postponing that just to talk about something that I've wanted to talk about for a while now, and that is 10th edition. So we know that 10th edition is right around the corner, just a few months away. We could all feel it coming. We've got that awesome trailer that debuted, new awesome Space Marines against some new awesome Tyranids. And today I want to talk about one thing that's been bothering me for a long time for Warhammer 40k. So with that being said, let's dive right in. When I play Warhammer 40k, I play to have fun. I play to see these epic cinematic battles in my head play out on the battlefield, and it's just something so awesome. However, we've been taking like a 2-year break from playing the tabletop, and just recently Gershwin and I got back into it, and the first game we played was not fun at all. It was a lot of rule searching, a lot of downtime that we had while playing, and there was just too much going through our books and trying to find things instead of actually playing the game and rolling dice. The thing is, like, yeah, he was playing orcs, I was playing chaos. Mine was more of like a mechanicum heavy list. He had like a bunch of trucks and fast boys and stuff like that, fast attacks, and it was just not fun at all, to be honest with you guys. The game, we called the game at the end of turn 2 because it was super one-sided, and like I said, 90% of the time we were just going through our book, trying to find stratagems, trying to find special rules, saying, oh, is this rule in this book, or is this rule in that book, and there's just too much to comb through. And that's one of the things that they've said they're going to change in Warhammer 40k. They said the rules are going to be sleeker, there's going to be less books to carry around, everything is going to be pretty much on just a data card. That sounds a lot like Age of Sigmar, and we've played Age of Sigmar before, and it's pretty fun, it's pretty streamlined. So for them to say that 40k will be becoming a very simple but not simplified game, that speaks to us. They've said this before though. They said this at the beginning of 8th edition, they said this at the beginning of 9th edition, and I guess you can say, yeah, the rules were simple when the edition first started, but as the edition goes on and more campaigns come out, more rules come out, more books come out, everything starts to get spread apart. And eventually it's just all over the place, and you go from having one book to having 2 books, a white dwarf that you need the app, oh, but you also need to go buy this index, and it's just too much everywhere. So hopefully 9th edition, they stay away from this. They say they're going to do it, they say they're going to simplify things, so hopefully that's the case. One of the things that they're going to do is they're going to take away the psychic phase. So there's no longer any psychic phase in 10th edition Warhammer 40k. It will now be represented on the data card of the models that have psychic abilities. So for example, if you're playing like Mephiston, you don't have to have a separate sheet and it has all these psychic powers to choose from. Mephiston will have his own psychic abilities, and that's that. They'll be integrated whether it's at the command phase, at the shooting phase, and melee. So obviously he's going to have some type of force weapon. He'll be able to use that in melee, and there'll be a stat and rules for that on his card there. It's going to be really interesting because no longer will like the Necrons feel left out during the psychic phase. No longer will the Tau feel left out during the psychic phase. It'll all be streamlined so everybody can basically do something at all times and not just kind of be standing there waiting for your opponent to finish his stuff. Another thing that's kind of interesting for 10th edition is that everything is going to be free. The rules are going to be free. And that's something that's going to be really good for the community because, as we all know, Warhammer 40k has only been getting more popular and more widespread throughout the years. 8th edition was a huge boom that saw Warhammer 40k branch out to other IPs, video games, more books were coming out. Hell, there was even a Warhammer 40k Monopoly game. So with more people being introduced to the hobby, especially nowadays with Henry Cavill announcing that he's going to be making a cinematic universe for 40k with Amazon, a lot more people are putting their eyes on 40k and seeing just how awesome this grim dark hobby is. So with that being said, they're trying to take as many players and make it as accessible to children all the way to adults, so that more people can buy the models, more people can spend money, and in turn for Warhammer 40k to just grow. So yes, 10th edition rules will be free right off the bat, day one, so you guys can start playing with the models you currently have, and that's really cool. Obviously, if you guys want to buy the codex, the physical data cards, that's going to cost money, but at least digitally, everything will be free. The one question I have with this is if you still have to get the Warhammer app, which I believe is locked between a $5 a month subscription, or maybe they're doing away with that, I don't know. But yeah, from what I hear, the app isn't the best. It's got a lot of glitches, some points don't really add up correctly, so hopefully they're working on that to make it better, because we all know there's another useful app that is free and that works perfectly, Battlescribe. So hopefully GW can kind of get the ball rolling on these things and just make the game fun, streamlined for everybody. Another thing too is that we get to see a slew of Space Marines that don't have certain keywords, so they're going away with less keywords and making things more streamlined as to where a Space Marine is a Space Marine. I think they're going to go away with Firstborn and Primaris and just have a Space Marine. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how things change. Another thing that I'm looking forward to a lot is the stratagems. There's way too many stratagems that are very similar to one another. There are stratagems that you'll never use because they just suck, and there are stratagems that you're only using, and it very much mitigates the reason as to why do I have a whole book of stratagems when I'm only using like 4. So now stratagems have been streamlined to about 6 more or less per army, so that's going to help you do the things you want to do easier. You don't have to think, okay, let me go through this book, oh no, it's in this other book that has that stratagem, or oh no, they took away this stratagem. So everything is just going to be easier and much more accessible to everybody. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping that GW actually knows what they're doing and actually keeps to their word in keeping the game simple but not simplified, or no, simplified but not simple, and streamlined. And hopefully I'm really hopeful that they don't just say, like in previous editions, where they're going to make it simple, but then boom, you've got 7 books by the end of the edition, and then they say, oh no, in 11th edition it's going to be less books. I get it, they're a business, they're trying to sell books, but at the same time, carrying 4 books to play 1 army, that's not ideal. So, thanks again for listening, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you looking forward to 10th edition? Because we sure are. We're hoping this edition sparks that love of 40k on the tabletop once again. And hopefully we'll be able to bring you some battle reports for 10th. Who knows? But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. And as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Oh, I guess that's what my